Hello everyone, my name is Shannon and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that not a lot of people touch on, and honestly I don't understand why. The topic I want to touch on today is insecurity. Sometimes when we notice a little flaw about ourselves, or maybe we think, oh, well, if I feel this way, then maybe other people know about it too. It tends to make us feel really small. When I came to Christ, I had a lot of insecurities that was a long journey to overcome. But one insecurity that I did overcome, that I'm going to tell you, is right on my face. No, it's not about the way I look. One insecurity I'm going to let you guys in on that I've overcome are my eyes. I want you to look very closely at my eyes. Do you notice how this one's tending to squint when I smile, and this one tends to be okay? I used to be insecure about this little squinting eye for years. It all started back in middle school when I had a little crush and I decided to ask the guy out. His response to me, and I quote, "Yeah, I don't want to go out with you because your eye looks like you have a disease." What? And ever since then, up to the point that I got delivered, I hated this eye. But now one of the biggest insecurities I think I have overcome is feeling worthless about myself. It's not like I had a bad childhood growing up, but I did grow up with an older brother. Now, you know how siblings tend to fight and have that little bit of sibling rivalry, you know? My brother's way of saying that he hated me was telling me that I was worthless. Now, he never really meant it, and he's told me this before. But when you tend to hear something so many times, your mind starts to believe that it's true. So I carried that with me all throughout high school and half of college. It would affect the way that I saw myself, and it affected the way that I made friends. But it wasn't until the God of the universe told me that I had value and that I had worth that I stopped thinking that about myself. It wasn't just one day, bing, oh my gosh, I feel like I have worth. I wish I could say it was that easy. But with the process of spending time with God, with the process of getting to know more who God is and more about my purpose in Him, I started to see that all the years of my brother telling me I was worthless was absolutely wrong. So there is a quick testimony from me, and for this video, I had quite a few of my friends help me out. I've got a bunch of different videos from a bunch of different people who have been brave enough to come forward and share their testimonies with us. Are you ready to get into the videos? Okay, let's go.
Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? My name is AB. They call me AB. My name is Abraham. But anyways, my testimony, what I went through, where I actually thought, that people didn't notice. I'm sorry, that I thought people noticed, but they actually didn't. Was a testimony of having self-doubt because of being a perfectionist. I've always been a perfectionist. Anyways, long story short, as I grew, as I got older and I grew and I became a young man, I always struggled with that, with self-doubt, because I've always been a perfectionist. I'll get frustrated when I feel like something didn't come out right. I'll doubt myself. Anyways, point is, I had a lot of self-doubt because of that. Because being a perfectionist it can be a blessing, but also a curse. So I had a lot of self-doubt, and at the end, I kept questioning myself. Even when I started being used by God, when I came to ministry, I would leave every place that I went to, thinking, man, how did I do? You know what, man, maybe I did it wrong. Maybe I should have done this. So it became a curse, a burden. But thank God, God is faithful. He ended up delivering me. It was just amazing because it was a big burden, And if any of you out there know what I'm talking about, you know how that feels of self, doubt and doubting yourself because you kind of want to be perfect. And it's like God wants to use you just how you are. So now to this day I walk, I'm not perfect, I conquered that, but I still have other things. So as a Christian, we walk around, we're not perfect, we're just being perfected, So with that being said, that's my testimony. I hope you guys, could take something from it and maybe share it. God bless you. And shouts out to Shani, she's the best. God is giving these testimonials. Peace.
A part of my testimony, which I dealt with insecurity, would be that I began my walk with God 2 years back, and I really cared about my reputation because I didn't want people to see me as vulnerable, because then people would look at me differently, and then people would just look at me kind of dirty because I'm vulnerable or because I let myself loose. So one of my insecurities was I had to always gear myself, I have to always guard myself. And I could never let people get too close to me because then they'll judge me somehow. But then when I just went into the presence of God, God told me, that He's gonna, push me out of my comfort zone, not care about my reputation, And I got that revelation recently, and I've just not been caring about my reputation. I've been not, caring about what people thought. I've been doing God's will wholeheartedly, and just been so in love with His presence. And I think that's something in our generation that we care about our reputation. We care a lot about what people think, about the judgment of others, And we should only care about the love of the Father, about the love of Jesus, because Jesus is the only one who can fill this void inside of us, this emptiness inside of us. Nothing, no boys, no parties, no trying to please others could ever fill this thing that was inside me that I could never fill. And once I hit the presence of God, I knew it was Jesus who would fill that void. So that's one of the many insecurities I had that I overcame, and definitely people see it because I feel I'm more interactive in my hop. In the beginning I was very quiet, but now I'm more out there because I know that I'm doing it for Jesus, that I'm doing it for His kingdom. It's just been increasing, and He's been just with me all the time, and daily encounter. It's just amazing when you do not care about your reputation and you let yourself loose and you're vulnerable to His voice, because you cannot be too guard and then vulnerable at the same time when you're in the presence of God. You have to be either vulnerable or guarded, So I surrendered my insecurities to Him, and then I'm completely vulnerable to His presence. And then Jesus has just been people into my life that truly have loved me and then cared for me for who I am, and He's just been bearing fruit since this year has started. So I'm just very grateful for where I'm at.
So an insecurity that I had that I thought that people noticed in me, and I was really insecure about this because I walked around feeling like I was being judged, but it was fear, and I was just fearful of just everything. I had fear with people, men, women. I was always scared, of whatever. And people always told me, you look so comfortable, you look so great, you look like such a people person, you look this, you look like that. But I was always struggling with fear, and I was just struggling with fear in everything. I would walk around feeling like, oh my God, what if today's my last day? What if today I get hit by a car? I had a very tough time walking through streets. I don't walk through streets too much because that was just a fear that I dealt with. At any drive-through I would get shot, and I thought that people noticed that, but instead people always gave me great feedback about how I maintain myself, how I'm so out of my box, how I'm so out of my comfort zone all the time, and I'm always really comfortable with everything. But I thought that they noticed that I was a fearful person who just didn't really want to be involved with the world because I was scared. And so God has delivered me from that.
Hi everyone, my name is Juliet, and basically I want to talk to you guys about an insecurity that I had for a very long time, many years ago. Basically, I was very shy, I was very antisocial, I was very to myself because I thought if I made friends, they would find a flaw in me that they wouldn't like, or they would just all of a sudden not want to be my friend. So I always kept myself to myself because I'm I don't want to open myself up for people to reject me, So I always felt rejected, I always felt alone. So that's why I didn't want to open myself up, and I think people saw that, in me because I didn't have too many friends. And how I overcame that was basically, well, first of all, accepting God into my life. He took all that rejection, all that, sadness, all that, always thinking about myself and like insecure about myself. He took all of that away. He filled me with his love, and I was able to see people differently. From then on, I didn't see people like, oh, they're not gonna like me, because I was accepted in God, and that's how I overcame that, to find myself and my identity in God and not in other people.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Yurko, and proud to say that I'm from El Rey Jesus. But real quick, I wanted to talk to you about my insecurities. Insecurities based on what? About my tone. Sometimes I would be afraid I wouldn't sound masculine, or sometimes I would be secure without sounding confident to the crowd, not sounding bold and sounding weak. So it was really hard for me sometimes to talk, in speeches or in groups or more than one person. Kind of like people say you would be afraid of your own shadow type of thing. Well, in this case, that would be like my shadow. That would be my insecurity. In other words, with people talking, I would always be talking. For example, right now I'm talking to you, the viewer, and I would be thinking, oh, they're probably worried about what I'm gonna say or what I'm gonna think, or how my tone of voice sounds, and it would be very uncomfortable, and it would hurt with the level of boldness and that would be my insecurity. So, yeah.
Insecurities.
Woman of God.
Insecurities is my makeable kid, my hero kid. Insecurities. If you notice, these are my insecurities. That's why I don't take them off. Just kidding. That. So this is the way you get delivered. People say, "En el nombre de Jesús," and the leaves come off, and you're now secured. I was dealing with insecurities. I stuttered. I did this. I was like Moses. Moses in the Bible stuttered. And I still stutter. I grabbed the mic, and I'm like, baby kinda. Now I'm still dealing with insecurities. I don't know. I always dealt with insecurities, so I don't know what to tell you. But grab a hold on to Jesus. That's all I can say.
Insecurity that I have come over is I used to care what people would think about, and my best friend could back me up on that. So now I don't care what people think of me, because I know that God made me the way I am for a reason, and I'm very grateful for all the stuff I've accomplished. I've been in music videos, I've done modeling, I've gone to competitions, so I'm very proud of all the stuff I've done. So if you ever feel insecure about yourself, don't, because you never know what you could do. Only in God's present and everything, He can make you better.
That's so true.
That's why this is my best friend. Love you, Shannon.
Hey guys, so it's Abby, and thank you guys for watching this video. So what I want to talk to you guys today is an insecurity that I had, and basically what it was is that I was very self-conscious about the way I look, like makeup, and I had to always be wearing makeup to school and always need to be dressed up nice, because I felt that I needed to look my very best every day. And then it wasn't until God showed me that I'm beautiful in His own image that He showed me that I have identity. And now today here I am in makeup, and as more confident as ever in myself and my identity with God. So for those of you out there that feel self-conscious about the way you look, about how you are, you have identity with God, and He loves you a lot. So yeah, thank you, Shannon, for letting me be a part of your video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys, God bless you.
Hi, my name is Fiorella. I am one of Shannon's friends, and as you know, Shannon. I'm here to actually give a testimony about one of the fears that I've conquered. And one of the fears that I can say that I have conquered, and one of the fears I can testify that I have conquered, and that I am still to this day, God is still molding me and helping me in, is my self-image and loving myself and how I look. And it's a journey. I'm not a high school student, but I'm still young, and I've been 4 years in Christ now, and I can say that I'm still learning as we go along, and I'm still being set free from so many things and so many standards that the world puts upon ourselves. Because of the standards of the world, because of the way they said that you should look, those things, words that people say, they do hurt you, regardless of that saying where it says sticks and stones may break them by bones. Because the things that people say, it affects you inside. And that's what happened to me. It affected me inside. It affected me how I viewed myself. And I can say for many, many years, for a long period of time, because of those words that people said to me, I couldn't leave my house without wearing eyeliner. A lot of the depression I felt was because of such of a low self-esteem I had for myself that I was even recommended to seek help. But God set me free from those things. So a goal of mine is I want to help girls of all ages, you know, show them that they can dress pretty, they can look pretty, and that they shouldn't give up on anything just because of what the world says, just because of what others have said, because God doesn't make ugly, and nobody is ugly, and no girl is ugly, and every girl is beautiful, and every girl should have the chance to feel beautiful and look at themselves and say I am beautiful every day. You know, okay, maybe not every day, because you know we all got those days, but you know, a lot of the time. But that's part of my testimony, and that's part of a fear I've overcame. You know, I dress the way I want now. I used to be scared of showing my arms. Now I don't give a flying fadoodle about showing my arms. So God is good.
I also just want to bring up a very powerful verse that has to do with all of this. I want to read to you from the Bible, 2 Corinthians 12, verses 9 and 10. Verse 9 starts out saying, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." Verse 10 then goes, "That's why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, and in difficulties. For when I am weak, I am made strong." So no matter if you're going through some sort of insecurity now, know that your weakness will soon become a strength. All of the people that just gave their testimony, they are now stronger because of what they have been through. So for right now, don't be discouraged, because this insecurity or insecurities that you may be facing are only temporary. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, I am going to say, give this video a big thumbs up. And if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. There should be a link down below here somewhere. And go ahead and hit that bell, so that way you will be notified every single time I post a video. God bless you. Love you all. And I will see you next Wednesday.